Ready?
You still want it? You want me to?
Yes, please.
Okay.
Please. Still need ours.
From Morelli Field at Melrose High School, Melrose, Mass. This is Lexington Blue Sox baseball here on LSP tonight. It's the Blue Sox with a record of 2-2, fifth in the ICL, visiting the Melrose Americans with a record of 3-1, second in the ICL. Good evening, everybody. As good as an evening as you can with this weather. Sam Feely here with you, ready to bring the play-by-play story. This is not the thrilling conclusion to the suspended game from Thursday night. That had to be called off because of rolling blackouts in the town of Lexington and the lights going off and on at center field due to them periodically until we finally said, you know what, this is going to be a safety hazard at some point, and then the lights were powered off basically for the rest of the night, and that game is suspended in the third inning. This, however, is a game that was on the schedule from the very beginning, the first of two trips this season, in the regular season anyways, for the Blue Sox to Morelli Field, and hoping for more trips to Morelli at the end of the season, potentially in a return to the ICL Championship Series. So the Blue Sox in blue and the Americans in red. So we're about to get this one underway. And on the mound for the Melrose Americans, the right-hander Brandon McMahon. McMahon got the win against the Bulldogs in his first appearance of the year, back on May 29th, went 3 2/3 innings, and that was a barn burner game. He allowed 9 runs on 6 hits, 2 walks, and 5 strikeouts, and yet the Americans came away with the victory in that game. Last year for the Americans, he was 4-1 with a 3.64 ERA in 32 2/3 innings. Scrambling to get the lineups together, but it'll be Jesse McCullough leading things off for the Blue Sox. Stay warm, stay dry. First pitch coming at you, 7:30. Swung on and miss. We are underway. Anderson Jimenez in the on-deck circle. Blue Sox coming off their annual exhibition against the Katuitt Kettleers yesterday, and a flare the other way and a leadoff single for Jesse McCullough. Good recovery after the swing and miss. You could tell he was trying to ambush one to begin the ball game. Came up empty on the breaking ball, but pokes that one into right field for a leadoff single, and now here's AJ.
Now batting, number 2, Anderson Jimenez.
Jimenez entering play, 375, 444, 500 is slash line. 1 double, 3 ribbies. And takes high for a ball. And there's a lot of factors at play with the weather. Even if it's not going to pour, it's been cool and damp all day, even without precipitation. The infield and the grass could get, maybe a bit too slick. Even the baseball could get slick. You wonder if control will be a factor for the pitchers in this game. And then you could potentially have to worry about fog and just visibility being nil. I mean, forget about a lack of lights. Is fog settling in? Would that be an issue? We'll see. That is downstairs, and it is 3-0 already to Anderson Jimenez, number 2 hitter in the Blue Sox lineup, with Nick Anderson behind him. McMahon misses high, and able to hold up is Jimenez. And it's first and second, nobody out to begin the ball game for the Blue Sox.
Now batting number 33, Nick Anderson.
As the second walk of the season drawn by Jimenez. And now here's Nick Anderson, swings at the first pitch, fouls it off onto Tremont Street. We have an official broadcast. Double steal is on, and in time at third is McCullough, and in the back door to second goes Jimenez. Golden opportunity for the Blue Sox here, but it is an 0-2 count to Nick Anderson. Anderson returning to the Blue Sox lineup against the Middlesex Expos on June 2nd after Holy Cross were eliminated from the NCAA baseball tournament. He went 0 for 3 with 3 Ks in that game. Hoping for a better output here. He'll stroke this one into center field. I think the visibility issues are coming into play already. Center fielder makes the catch, but had to do a bit of a Texas two-step to make sure he was going the right direction. It's a sac fly and an RBI. McCullough comes in from third. It's 1-0.
Now batting number 9, Jake McElroy.
So after the sac fly by Anderson, Jake McElroy takes downstairs for a ball. 1-0 is the count. This is stroked into left field, and that'll be caught. Jimenez able to get back to second before the left fielder can fire a seed to get the inning-ending double play. And, you know, maybe the visibility issues will persist even for those on base. Got to make sure you got the catch if you can't exactly tell through the fog or whatnot. Blue Sox are swinging at the first pitch early and often. A.J. Lisco is thrown out on a strong throw from deep in the hole on a slow bouncer to short, and the side is retired. The Blue Sox get 1 run on 1 hit and leave 1 after half an inning. Blue Sox 1 in the Americans coming up. LSP and Shipping Shield are partners in cards. Shipping Shields are the eco-friendly sports and gaming card shipping protectors trusted by yours truly, made in the USA and Canada on 100% recyclable cardboard. Use the codes of the link on the screen and in the description for a discount on your order. We may receive a commission from those orders, but we thank you for your continued support of whatever this is. Cole Donato, the right-hander from Tusk, gets the start on the mound for the Blue Sox. And Alex Fernandez leading things off for the Americans.
Now batting, number 4, Alex Fernandez.
Donato making his second appearance of the year. Worked an inning in the win against the Andre Chiefs on May 28th. Did not allow a run or a hit or a walk, and struck out a batter. 1-1 the count to the Americans' leadoff hitter, and the pitch catches the inside corner for a strike, and it is 1-2 to Fernandez. Fernandez, 2 for 6 on the season. Gets back even the count, 2-2. Swing and a miss, strike 3. 1 up, 1 down here in the bottom of the first for Melrose.
Now batting, the shortstop, Aiden Barry.
Here's Aiden Barry. American shortstop, 3 for 9 on the young season with 6 runs already scored, which is a pretty good total for just 3 games in, but it's actually not the team lead. Sean Nestor has already scored 8 through 3 games. Early 2-0 hole for Cole Donato against Barry. In addition to his 3 for 9 batting stats, it also has 4 walks to just 2 strikeouts. And he's very close to picking up another one here. That almost came in and got him, too. Ended up going to the backstop, and it's a 3-0 count to the American shortstop, with the all-time Americans great John Jennings due up next. That is outside, and a 4-pitch walk to Aiden Barry.
Now batting, the designated hitter, John Jennings.
Jennings, 375, 545, 375, his slash line so far, with 1 RBI, but still searching for his first extra base hit. Misread that, 4 RBIs, but still looking for his first extra base hit. Comes up empty there. Has been on base in every game he's played so far. He was 0 for 2 against the Bulldogs on the 29th, but did get plunked and drew a walk. What does he do? He gets on base. The conditions may potentially affect the run game for both teams. The wet grounds, you don't want to get caught stumbling with something in your treads and run yourself into outs you didn't need to. Americans with the second most steals in the ICL entering play tonight. Pickoff attempt. Barry's back safely. Americans with 12. That's through four games. The Mad Dogs have 18 through 6 games. Blue Sox, 8 steals through 4 games. Just another indication of how clustered the ICL standings are here in the early going, and interleague play starts next week, and if that's going to play out anything like it did last year, the ICL teams might not get much more separation. Runner going on the pitch, smack the other way for a base hit. It'll be runners at the corners. So Jennings has reached base in all 4 games now that he's played this season, assuming we do complete this one. Well, this one is official. That's officially in the stat book in case we have to suspend this one as well. The baseball gods do not want these two teams to play, apparently. But again, a lot of parity in the ICL here in the early going, and the ICL dominated the interleague play against the Yawkey and Park leagues last year. That goes all the way to the backstop. No advance by Barry from third, but Jennings takes second. And yep. I don't know if anyone will tell you outright, but the elements are coming into play. Up and away. More wild pitches that we could potentially see in this game, the more you know that you got to be patient as a hitter. If otherwise good, a pitcher with otherwise good command is going to be floating around the strike zone a bit too much. And it is 3-0. Get me over fastball on the outer edge. Makes it 3-1. Chris Klein comes up empty. From 3-0 to a full count. Barry at third, Jennings at second. Outside, bases full of Americans. Rick DeAngelis coming out with a fresh baseball for the home plate umpire. And Sammy Steed coming back as well. And it's going to be Rick DeAngelis making the visit right now to try and see if he can settle down young Coldonado and see if they can find a way out of this bucket of syrup. And hello to you, too, whoever's alarm is going off there on Lynn Fells. Exhale. All right, well, that's over with, and so is the meeting on the mound. And now a dangerous spot here in the early going for the Lexington Blue Sox and Coldonado. Bases full. One down, but one pitch could potentially get you out of this. Another ball, though, missing inside to Owen Duggan. That darts down and in as well. 2-0. Americans now up to 45 walks drawn on the year and very close to number 46, which is a considerable lead over number 2 Malden in that category. That's in there for a strike, 3-1. The Americans have drawn 43 walks through 4 games. How's that even possible to draw 10, be so patient as a team that you've drawn over 10 walks per game? Grounder to third, and they'll go to first for the sure out. The throw's a little bit to the foul side of first base, but let's go. Able to hang on as Normandy throws out Duggan, and in from third comes Barry with the equalizer. It is 1-1 with now 2 runners in scoring position and 2 down.
Now batting the catcher, Nick Gregorio.
Nick Gregorio will try and cash in with his 2 runners in scoring position opportunity to give the Americans their first lead. And misses high for a ball. Gregorio looking for his first hit since opening day against the Sabres. Has scored a run in all 3 games he's played, however. He had a double and 2 ribbies against the Sabres, and a walk against both the Bulldogs and the Expos in the other 2 games he's played. It is 1-2. On the outside corner, strike 3 called. Well, as far as the Blue Sox are concerned, I mean, you would have liked to keep that goose egg in the visitor side, but further damage averted, and we are back to where we started after 1. Advertising opportunities are available on LSP. Sponsor our content for as little as $25 a spot, whether you want to promote a business, product, or event, or send a message of support to a player, team, or coach. Email yours truly, samfeelypbp@gmail.com, for all the deets.
Now batting the third baseman, Tyler Normandy.
Tyler Normandy to lead things off here in the top of the second for the Lexington Blue Sox. Back to square one after 1. 1-1 is our score. They sack fly by Nick Anderson, bringing home the opening marker for the Blue Sox in the top of the first. And then Duggan grounding out to bring home Barry for the Americans' first run. 0-1 is the count to Tyler Normandy. Comes up empty. Be 0-2. Fouled straight back. Do it again at 0-2. This is Normandy's Blue Sox. Well, assuming we get this in, first full game of the Blue Sox. Did play in the exhibition against the Kettleers and floats a base hit into center field.
Now batting number 18, Charlie Camella.
Here's Charlie Camella. He had the leadoff role in the exhibition against the Kettleers yesterday. Much different day weather-wise, of course, than it was yesterday. And once you start to really hear the raindrops nick off the bounce off the steel bleachers, aluminum bleachers here, you know that the weather's picking up a bit. Camella grounds this one slowly to short. Could be 2. Underhand to second for 1. That is all they'll get. And then the ball is thrown away, but Camella saw it a bit too late and will be content to stay at first on the 6-4 fielder's choice. Luke Ward comes to bat. And an off-speed pitch catches the inside part for strike one.
Now batting number 19, Luke Ward.
Max Dushney in the on-deck circle. Camella at first, one down. McMahon misses the outside edge. Very close pitch, but it is 1-1 with a 1-1 score here in the top of the second. Camella runs. Fouled off the other way. 1-2. Grounder to the right side, but stays foul. Do it again at 1-2. Max Dushney on deck. 1-1 game here in the top of the second, but first, a check on Camella over at first. And he is back safely. Runner goes, grounder to first, takes a wild ricochet off the first baseman's glove, and everybody's safe. A bloodbath of a hop. First baseman was in the right position, but just took a brutal carom. Funny thing was, though, the Americans potentially had a play to get the batter at first, but good on Ward running it out strong to prevent that. And now here is Max Dushney. He comes up empty, and that's the same kind of pitch. Bring ball down and away. And McCullough came up empty on leading off the ball game. Once you got a single, you can tell the Blue Sox are trying to ambush on the first pitch. Popped up into foul territory. And, oh boy, even that was a bit of a strain to make that otherwise routine pop-up. And it is caught. The first baseman.
Now batting number 6, Jack Hammond.
Zach Kazosian doing a good job staying with that. And Jack Kamen try to cash in. 2 on, 2 out in a tie ball game. One and one is the count to Kamen. Number 10 batter in the Blue Sox lineup. And the leadoff man, Jesse McCullough, is due up next. That's cut on and missed. 4 strike 2. Down and away. Evens the count at 2. Normandy picking up the base hit to lead off this inning. Forced out at second on ground ball by Camella, which allowed him to reach on the fielder's choice. Then Ward with the cue shot off first baseman to reach safely. And Dushney popping out in foul territory. And now it's a full count with 2 down. Gentlemen, start your engines. Camella about to take off from second. Ward from first. Big pitch looming here early on in the ball game. McMahon comes set and looks back at second and delivers. Slow grounder to short, takes away the play at second. Throw to first is in time. As the ball slowed down going to short, and Aiden Berry wanted to get the force in at second, had to go to first on an off-balance play and made it, and it remains 1-1 after a buck and a half. When I say LSP has something for everyone since 2011, I by God mean it. Sports, live events, pet sitting, and walking, tech help, errands, and a whole lot more. Find our Thumbtack page and Linktree LSP37 or email yours truly so we can proceed to give you what you need.
Now batting the right fielder, Matt Elwell.
Matt Elwell will lead things off here in the bottom of the second for the Melrose Americans, to be followed by Kazosian and Yorba. Harrington, the extra hitter, is the number 10 hitter in the Americans lineup, and that misses high from Donato to Elwell for ball one. 1-1 is our score here in the bottom of the second, as here's a fly ball into center field. Visibility, not an issue in the end for that one. Caught for out number one.
Now batting the first baseman, Zach Kazosian.
Kazosian, who made a fine play on that pop foul. Top half this inning, skies this one into right center, and out number two, a long way to go for the center fielder to haul that one in. It's not just the fog that could become a factor, it's also the wind. It's hard enough to track it if there's no wind, this kind of cloud cover. And start playing, Mother Nature's Plinko. I don't know. At any rate, back-to-back flyouts to center and the obligatory take after two quick outs, but all of a sudden it is 0-2, just like that, to Yorba. Outside for a ball. 1-2, like the thought process there. Miss outside and see if you get the guy fishing trying to compensate. I don't know. Well, good patience by Yorba to lay off both of those, and now is back to even at 2-2. And time granted. We'll reset. We've got a shattered bat. Looks like he's Looks like he's getting a new twig. Swing and a miss. Side retired in order for Cole Donato, 1-1 after 2. The LSP store is open. Get yourself a DVD or digital copy of most past LSP video broadcasts, including several different designs of stickers, shirts, and other merch, and some stuff with my dog Tina the Long Arena on it, and some words I've probably said on this here YouTube channel over the years. LSP37.creator-spring.com for merch. Email yours truly for game videos. And we'll go to the top of the third. It'll be the top three hitters in Blue Sox order due up: McCullough, Jimenez, and Anderson.
Now batting number 12, Jesse McCall.
1-2-3 inning for Cole Donato in the bottom of the second is just what he needed. And maybe just what the Blue Sox offense needed, a quick inning on defense and then get back to swinging the bats after unable to come up with one run in that somewhat promising top of the second. Ended up stranding 2 runners, and now the lineup turns over for McCullough, who has the lone run of the game so far for the Blue Sox. Leadoff single, and took third on a double steal, and then came home on Anderson's sac fly. It's McCullough, Jimenez, and then Anderson. If anyone gets on, Jake McElroy just missed for a ball. Gene Gregorio trying to show it off nicely for the umpire like a game show prize model, but the price was wrong, and so was that one. I don't care if you laugh at that joke. I did it just for me. You people mean the world to me. Not yet on a shirt, Mrs. Vanderzalen. 2-2. Fouled off. Happy Gilmore sequel coming out soon, like with Bob Barker's passing. Like, which game show host is Adam Sandler supposed to beat up now? Ken Jennings was in the trailer, but foul tip, but unable to hang on to it was Gene Gregorio. And we will do it again at 2-2. A bit of a delay here as home plate umpire needs some fresh baseballs. And we'll resume play in just a moment. Kind of a stop-and-go traffic kind of start to the season for the Blue Sox. As that's smacked into right center field, but it'll hang up long enough for the right fielder to haul it in. For number 1. Good sound off the bat, but with the air being as thick as it is,
Now batting number 2, Anderson Jimenez.
not going to get it nearly as much carry as you'd like. So 1 up, 1 down. McCullough retired for the first time. He's now 1 for 2. And here's Jimenez. Popped up in a foul territory. Kozhozhin's going to give it a look, and then Are you serious? He let it go thinking it was going to land on the other side of the fence, turned back, and then it dropped right behind him as he turned his back. I mean, like, I can't fault him for giving up on the play there, but, like, that's possibly the wind at play or just knocking it back, or the, humidity not allowing it to carry as far as it otherwise might. But in that spot, it's going to be a very difficult time making that play in the first place. Like, what are you supposed to do? You can't really fault him there. It's 1-1 with one out. Jimenez walking a steal his first time up. Got on top of that one, grounded it to short. A little bit of a high throw. Oh, boy, Kozhozhin's getting a workout here tonight defensively at first base. 2 up, 2 down.
Now batting number 33, Nick Anderson.
So we'll see if Nick Anderson can prevent a 1-2-3 inning for McMahon. Sack fly driving in McCullough for the only run so far for the Blue Sox in the top of the first. Both runs of this game coming in in the first inning, and nothing since. And Anderson does get it into center despite the best efforts of the Melrose defense for a 2-out single.
Now batting number 9, Jake McElroy.
So Anderson picks up the base hit. Now here's McElroy. Fly out to left his first time up. That was kind of a line drive to left, too, that Jimenez, when he was on second on that play, nearly drifted a bit too far off the bag, trying to find out if the left fielder had caught it. Did get back in the end to prevent a double play there. It'll be outside for ball 1. As I was saying, kind of a stop-and-go traffic kind of start to the season for the Blue Sox. Loss, win, suspended game, and now another game against the Americans in this oobleck. Anderson goes, one-hop throw. Oh, my goodness, they got him. Wow. A one-hop throw. I thought it was late, and he had gotten in there before the tag at all, but a caught stealing, and the side is retired. Well, that inning comes to a very anticlimactic end for the Blue Sox, and it is still 1-1 after 2.5. Are you down with a sound called LSP? Of course you are. Then follow and support us on the web. Linktree, Facebook, YouTube, PayPal, Creator Spring. Don't forget to subscribe. Flash the subscribe button. Memberships also available. LSP37. And we're also on Thumbtack and TCG Player if you're into that sort of thing. We go to the bottom of the third. 10-1-2 due up for the Americans. Harrington, Fernandez, and Barry.
Now batting the extra hitter, Dylan Harrington.
Dylan Harrington, number 1 in your programs and your hearts if you are a Melrose Americans fan, getting his first career plate appearance with the Americans. Up and away for a ball. Swing and a miss, 1-1. Donato able to get the side 1-2-3 in the bottom of the second. And McMahon kept pace with him. The top of the third, allowing a 2-out single up the gut to Anderson. But then Anderson was caught stealing on a close play. It'll be a ball inside. 2-2 is the count. And a grounder to the right side. Jimenez, 1 down. Lineup turns over for Alex Fernandez.
Now batting the center fielder, Alex Fernandez.
Fernandez struck out swinging to begin the day offensively for the Melrose Americans. Ooh, as long as we're talking about the ball possibly being slick. Curveball slipped out of his hand way too early. Nearly came in and got Fernandez in the dome, but again. Might need to change tack here with the pitch call. And maybe it's a bit of overcompensation because it's a fastball outside the other way. And now, 3-0 to the Americans' leadoff hitter. A 4-pitch walk.
Now batting the shortstop, Aiden Barry.
Fernandez draws the walk. It's his 4th walk of the year. Young man is 2 for 2 in stolen base attempts this year. Both of his steals came the Americans' last game against the Expos. He gone. Dushy and D'Agostino, attorneys at law. 2 down. Or can you imagine Dush and Dag sounds like some kind of like 70s buddy cop movie or show. I don't know. Mixing my metaphors here. Broken bat looper into center for a base hit. So Barry's able to keep the line moving after the caught stealing.
Now batting the designated hitter, John Jennings.
And here's Jennings. Single his first time up. Barry's been up on base both times he's been up. Walk last time. Scored the Americans' only run. Now he's aboard with 2 down. But again, caught stealing by Dushny of Fernandez. Could loom large here. Because you're looking at runner on first, 2 down, rather than 2 on 1 out for the powerful John Jennings. Down low for a ball. Barry gets his lead off of first. And this is smacked into center field. That'll get down for a base hit. So while Jennings still searching for his first extra base hit of the year, he is 2 for 2 in this one. And his first and second 2 out for Klein.
Now batting the third baseman, Chris
for a team that averages 10 walks per game, over that, in fact. Doing a good job. They actually have more base hits than walks so far in this one. Well, actually has many, 3 and 3, but they're 3 and 1 on the season, which by points is good for a three-way tie for second with Andre and the Bulldogs. But they have the best winning percentage, points percentage in the ICL. Malden is 4 and 2 entering play tonight. Ooh. Might have snow coned a bit, and Dush has made a bit too much. Otherwise could have been a pivotal strike call. Three and 1 to Chris Klein. In danger of loading the bases with Owen Duggan due up next. And there it is, ball 4. Fourth walk of the game issued by Cole Donato. Bases full for the second time for Melrose.
Now batting the left fielder, Owen Duggan.
And let's see if Owen Duggan can cash in. He did bring home the Americans' only run so far. The ground out that brought home Barry, but looking for something bigger here. Ground out won't do you any good. That'll end the inning, of course, with 2 down. So, gotta put one past the infielders at this point to give the Americans their first lead of the game. Foul tip into Dush's mitt for strike 1. It's around the time, it was in this third inning, that on Thursday the game between the Blue Sox and the Americans was called off. Due to the rolling power outages. One upshot of that game was that no one was leading, especially like by a huge margin, on the brink of a possible official game. But it was suspended 1-1 in the third. And here we are again 1-1 in the third between the Blue Sox and the Americans in less than ideal conditions. Just missed down and away for a ball. Boy, the more things change, the more things stay the same, right? Barry at third, Jennings at second, Klein at first. Actually been 4 consecutive base runners reaching since Harrington was retired to begin the inning. Fernandez is caught stealing. I wonder how different this inning could be if he hadn't been. That is inside. 2-2 is the count. Owen Duggan against Cole Donato, who comes set. Down and in. Dush lost sight of it, but the runners stay put. And now another full count. Base hit ball 4, right? Well, either one will give the Americans their first lead of the game. And with the top of the fourth looming, does seem like things have stabilized in terms of the weather, but something happens. Outwork in the Americans' favor. If we can get to the top of the fourth, and they have the lead. But let's find out first what we got. 3-2, bases loaded, 2 out. Runners go. Grounder up the middle for a base hit. 1 run scores easily. Here comes Jennings. 2-run single with 2 outs and 2 strikes for Owen Duggan. He's driven all 3 tonight for the Americans, and it is 3-1. Huge piece of 2-strike, 2-out hitting by the Americans' left fielder.
Now batting the catcher, Nick Jean Gregorio.
Klein stopped at second on the play. And now Nick Jean Gregorio. Donato misses outside, ball one. Well, talked about how the Americans' discipline has been pivotal to their success in the early going of the season and kept the carousel moving, and it paid off big time. That two-run single by Owen Duggan. Jimenez catches the pop fly to end the inning, but the damage has been done. Americans lead 3-1 after 3. Our next broadcast is going to be tomorrow night at LHS when the Blue Sox take on their roommates, the Lexington Bulldogs. It'll be a Bulldogs home game with a 7:45 start on this here YouTube channel. Don't forget to subscribe so you can watch live, free, and on demand.
Now batting number 9, Jake McElroy.
Jake McElroy to lead things off, to be followed by A.J. Lisco and Tyler Normandy. Here in the top of the fourth, as McMahon, staked to a lead for the first time tonight, fires outside for ball one. Not a bad idea to fire outside there, knowing the aggressiveness of the Blue Sox hitters early in this game, but laying off is McElroy. Now he's ahead. And now he laces this one to third. Nice handle on a hop by Klein, and on to first. One up, one down.
Now batting number 34, A.J. Lisco.
A.J. Lisco to the plate with the something you don't see very often, the hoodie under the jersey. And yet the short sleeves on a night like this. Lisco's 0 for 1. Dribbles this one in front of the mound, and oh boy! Throw went to the foul side of first base, and Kajosian, who's gotten a workout today there defensively, nearly pulled another one out of his hat. Instead, it'll be an E1 that allows Normandy to reach. And, Kevin Burgoyne coming out to have a word with the home plate umpire about something, but at any rate. Here's Normandy, leadoff single in the second, but then was forced out. The fielder's choice on which Camella reached. Swings that one, fouls it off for strike one. Runner at first on the error by the pitcher. McMahon. And now check of the runner at first, Lisco. I've already seen one Blue Sox runner get caught stealing in this one. That was Anderson to end the third. Pivotal one there with McElroy at the plate, and Anderson preventing the 1-2-3 inning. He ended up facing the minimum, thanks to that, in the third, did McMahon, but losing the strike zone there. It is 1-1. Runs inside, and Normandy pulls the trigger and fouls it off. Out of play. Strike two. Another pickoff throw, and they got him! Second time Blue Sox base runner has been thrown out. Two down, the base is empty with a 1-2 count. 2-2 now. Just when the Blue Sox thought they were going to start getting something going this inning and last, Anderson gets caught stealing. Lisco gets picked off. That's got to be a big boost of confidence, especially for McMahon, after it was his error that allowed him to reach and redeemed himself there with the pickoff. Now a 2-2 to Normandy. Down and away for a full count. Charlie Camella is due up next. Fly ball into shallow left and caught for the out that retires the side by the shortstop Barry. So once again, runner thrown out on the bases means the Americans just face the minimum. Halfway home, 3-1 Melrose. LSP and Shipping Shield are partners in cards. Shipping Shields are the eco-friendly sports and gaming card shipping protectors trusted by yours truly, made in the U.S. and Canada on 100% recyclable cardboard. Use the codes and the link on the screen and in the description for a discount on your order. We may receive a commission from those orders, but we thank you for your continued support of whatever this is. Luke Deschanel on the mound now for the Lexington Blue Sox, and it looks like we
Now batting the right fielder, Matt Elwell.
mistake. Elwell, Kazosian, and Yorba do up. Pop up by Elwell the other way. And oh my goodness. Wow. That was a very long way to run for the shortstop to go to get that one along the left field foul line. And he nearly did, but it dropped fair. And standing on second to begin the fourth is Elwell.
Now batting the first baseman, Zach Kazosian.
That is a brutal bounce for the Blue Sox to take there. Means a runner in scoring position to begin the home half of the fourth. Kajosian flew out to center his first time up in the second in what was the only 1-2-3 inning of the game for the Blue Sox on defense so far. Curveball swung on and missed. 0-2. Yorba to follow Kajosian, and then Harrington, the number 10 hitter, the extra hitter, after him. On the outside corner, strike 3 called. Big first out there after leadoff man gets into scoring position.
Now batting the second baseman, Luke Yorba.
Yorba struck out swinging his first time up to end the bottom of the second. I was talking earlier about how the ICL standings are pretty clustered at the moment. No one's able to get really much separation in the early going. Although the Stoneham Sabres starting to fall behind, they're the only team with only 1 win so far. They're 1-5. Expos at 2-3. Fly ball into left. That one is caught. Retreating to second is Elwell. There are 2 down as Yorba's retired.
Now batting the extra hitter, Dylan Harrington.
So we'll see if Luke Deschneaux can bounce back from leadoff batter reaching. Harrington up. Ground out to second his first time up. You have the Bulldogs at 3-3, and the Blue Sox at 2-2, 500 apiece, and PFP baby, and Luke Deschneaux. Let's complete the play and finish off that bottom of the fourth. And critically for the Blue Sox, they do not allow the Americans to stretch the lead any further. 3-1 after 4. Advertising opportunities are available on LSP. Sponsor our content for as little as $25 a spot, whether you want to promote a business, product, or event, or send a message of support to a player, team, or coach. Email yours truly for all the deets. So as we go to the top of the fifth, Brandon McMahon gives way to Alex Parisi. Parisi, the left-hander. Two and 2/3 innings of work, 1 hit allowed, 1 walk, 5 strikeouts. Got the nod in the suspended game against the Blue Sox last week. Here he is in relief of Brandon McMahon, who is in line for the win. If this 3-1 score can hold, but we'll see if Charlie Camella has anything to say about that with a leadoff single into right. And playing a game of chicken there with the throw coming back into the infield. And is content to stand there at first. And this is going to be Julian Alvarez pinch hitting for Luke Ward.
Now pinch hitting number 25, Julian Alvarez.
So Camella with the leadoff single, and Ward gives way to King Julian. It looks like we also have more troops coming in behind Jules is looks like Eric Ramirez in the on-deck circle. Stop picking on Anderson, Jules. 0-1. Foul ball. Coming in, forcing the Blue Sox players standing in front of the dugout to play hot foot. Now they're all back behind the fence. Good decision. Chopped foul at the dish. Jules quickly behind, 0-2. Alvarez, 4 for 5 with 2 doubles and 3 RBIs in his first 2 games. Grounds this one foul. A 3 for 3 performance in the loss to the Bulldogs on opening night. He only had 1 multi-hit game all year last year for the Blue Sox, did Jules, as he fouls this one off. Last 3-hit game for Alvarez before opening night against the Bulldogs was also against the Bulldogs back on July 28th, 2023. And he comes up empty there. Big strikeout for Alex Parisi, the right-handed hitting power hitter, Julian Alvarez. 1 down, and here comes Eric Ramirez.
Now pinch hitting number 17, Eric Ramirez.
Ramirez played his college ball at Lenoir Rhine. Played last year for the Malden Mad Dogs and had some absurd numbers in abbreviated action. Swinging wildly at a pitch up and away, and a third runner thrown out on the bases tonight for the Americans. Camella is caught stealing. Already seen Anderson caught stealing, and Lisco picked off, 2 down. A wild swing and a miss at that pitch up and away. Ramirez trying to be a hero still, but even if you crank that one like all the way to Gloucester, it's still a 1-run lead in favor of the Americans. Oh, and Ramirez just barely granted time in time. As Parisi was hoping to end this inning quickly, and down the left field line, just a bit out in front. Remains 0-2. So Ramirez, after pinch hitting for Dushney, Kamen is due up next. And we'll see. Broken bat grounder took a slow roll through the grass as it got to Barry, and then his throw in and out of the glove of Kazosian. So the inning continues. Broken bat, and then it looked like a tailor-made roller to Barry, but that took that weird slowdown
Number 6, Jack Kamen.
en route as it was going to the end of the grass towards the dirt, and Ramirez is aboard, and now here is Kamen, who takes on the outside corner for strike 1. Inside for a ball. Ramirez Getting his calisthenics in over there at first base in the middle of his lead. He runs, pitch is fouled off. Ramirez is one of 3 Blue Sox with 2 steals so far this season. The other 2 being Owen McKiernan and Jake McElroy. Little chopper. Nice pick by the pitcher, and the other overhand throw to first, running it that way, and Kamen remains hitless on the year. And the Blue Sox come up empty in the top of the 5th. Go to the bottom of the 5th. Still 3-1 Americans. When I say LSP has something for everyone since 2011, I by God mean it. Sports, live events, pet sitting and walking, tech help, errands, and a whole lot more. Find our Thumbtack page or visit Linktree LSP37 or email yours truly so we can proceed to give you what you need. We go to the bottom of the 5th, and Luke Maltasea takes over behind the dish.
Now batting, Alex Fernandez.
For the Blue Sox, Eric Ramirez now at third base. And Luke Deschanel, first pitch swinging. Alex Fernandez into right, and the catch is made. Sigh of relief there for the Blue Sox with Jimenez going out there quick and called off in time and a 1-pitch out.
Now batting the shortstop, Aiden Barry.
Critical for the Blue Sox to get the leadoff man, to prevent the leadoff man from getting on. Which is actually something they have been doing. It's driven the other way and fouling out of play. I figured he wasn't catching. No, I know. Keeping the leadoff man from getting on base is something the Blue Sox have been doing tonight. That Elwell reaching to start the bottom of the 4th is the only time the Americans have gotten the leadoff man aboard in this game. The imperative is even greater. When we're running out of outs on the offensive side. The Americans 6 defensive outs away from victory. Blue Sox scored the opening marker in the top of the first. Americans tied it in the bottom of the first and had chances. Oh, the Americans had a chance to take the lead in the first, but the Blue Sox have had plenty of chances to get back on the scoreboard since that first inning. They have had 3 runners thrown out on the bases tonight. If you don't count the fielder's choice that Camella grounded into that forced Normandy back in the second, there's been 1 pickoff and 2 runners caught stealing. And those have
Now batting the designated hitter, John Jennings.
really done in the Blue Sox efforts to try and get back in this game. And now as Barry reaches for the 3rd time tonight on his 2nd walk, no less, here is Jennings. And as far as Americans fans are concerned, this would be a great time for his first extra base hit of the year, but is tracked down in the corner in left. Gave it a good ride, but again, on a warmer and drier night, that probably is long gone into the Melrose High football field. Instead, is a long run and a long fly out to left. I mean, nothing to feel bad about in terms of the swing you put on that one. And Jennings, having a good day at the plate, as he often does. 2 for 3 now, but now there are 2 down. And I'll be downstairs. A ball. Blue Sox trying to get into the pickoff or caught stealing column here, and they already have 1. Got Fernandez back in the 3rd. Did Dushney. Runner goes, Maltasea on 1 hop, and good backup coming in from behind to prevent that one from going into center field. But it is a stolen base for Aiden Barry, and he is in scoring position with a 2-0 count. And now 2 down here on the bottom of the 5th. Americans looking for some insurance. Down and away. 3-0. Here's the count. Chris Klein, hoping to get a hold of one. Or he'll just take his base. This is 3rd walk of the game.
The left fielder, Owen Duggan.
And again, this is a team, the Americans, that average over 10 walks per game on offense. And tonight, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. It's an off day for them, apparently. But we are going to have a pitching change coming to you from Morelli Field. The LSP store is open. Get yourself a DVD or digital copy. Most past LSP video broadcasts are one of several different designs of stickers, shirts, or other merch, including some stuff with my dog, Tina the Long Arena, on it, and some words I've probably said on this here YouTube channel over the years. LSP37.creator-spring.com for merch. Email yours truly for game videos.
Blue Sox, Robbie Cobb.
Robbie Cobb will take over on the mound for the Blue Sox and try to get him out of another sticky situation. First and second, 2 down. Luke Deschanel's day is done. Robbie Cobb becomes the third pitcher of the game for Lexington. Cobb making his season debut. And that misses high for ball 1. Duggan has driven in all 3 runs tonight for the Americans. Fouls that one straight back. Count will be 1-1. Cobb now in his 5th season with the Blue Sox. Was outstanding in 2022. Fouled off, and I'll get out of play despite the best efforts of Eric Ramirez. 1-2. 2022, Robbie went 4-1 in 30 innings and a 3.73 ERA, allowed 43 hits, and struck out 22 to just 5 walks. Grounder past Cobb, fielded at second, fielded by the shortstop rather, stepping on second for the force. That retires the side, and successful first third inning of the season for Robbie Cobb, and the score remains Americans 3, Blue Sox 1 after 5. Are you down with the sound called LSP? Of course you are. Then follow and support us on the web. Linktree, Facebook, YouTube, PayPal, Creator Spring, LSP37. Don't forget to subscribe. Flash the subscribe button. And we're also on Thumbtack, a DCG player if you're into that sort of thing. And of course, don't forget to support the Blue Sox in the Intercity League all season long. IntercityLeagueBaseball.com. All right, we go to the top of the 6th with a couple of defensive changes for the Melrose Americans. Nate Galanis now behind the plate. And lineup will turn over to start the top of the 6th for Jesse McCullough. Parisi back to work in his 2nd inning of action. Oh boy, we're going to play Frogger here with the traffic going by on Linfels. And
Now batting number 12, Jesse McCullough.
Behind 0-1. Jesse led out the ball game with a single, stole third, and then scored. First run of the game. That's basically been it in terms of offensive highlights for the Blue Sox. 1-1 is the count. Had 3 runners gunned down on the bases. 2 caught stealing, 1 pickoff. Those were in critical spots too. The caught stealing in the 3rd and the pickoff in the 4th ensured that McMahon only faced the minimum of those innings, and that allowed him to really finish and those innings easily and put himself in line for the win, and a strikeout of Jesse McCullough for out number 1 here in the top of the 6th.
Now batting number 2, Anderson Jimenez.
See if Jimenez takes on the outside corner for a strike. 0-1. 0 for 1 is Jimenez in this game with a walk and a stolen base. And a ground out to short. A little flare to the right side, picked up by the second baseman, a double clutch, but in time for out number 2.
Now batting number 33, Nick Anderson.
Daniel Ferris in first base to register the putout, placing Zach Kajosian. And Nick Anderson, sac fly drove in the Blue Sox only run in the first, then singled with 2 out in the third, but then was caught stealing in what was then at the time still a 1-1 ball game. That ended the top of the third for the Blue Sox. In the bottom of the third, the Americans broke through with the 2 runs by which they lead. Grounder to short. Barry on to first. In time. Side retired, another 1-2-3 for the Americans. They're 3 defensive outs away, and we'll see if they can pad the lead. And as we go to the bottom of the 6th, 3-1, Americans. Our next broadcast tomorrow night, 7:45 p.m. The Blue Sox and Bulldogs face off in another edition of the Battle of Lexington. You can watch free, live, and on demand here on this here YouTube channel. Don't forget to subscribe.
Now batting the catcher, Nate Galanis.
Nate Galanis getting his first plate appearance of the game, coming in defensively in the top half of this inning. This is his first plate appearance with the Melrose Americans. Followed by Elwell and then Ferris. Robbie Cobb going back to work. Fouled off the other way. Count will be 0-1. Blue Sox, again, scored the opening marker in the top of the first. Americans pulled even, and then a 2-run single by Owen Duggan. Swing and a miss, 0-2. With 2 outs, no less, is the difference right now. Duggan has driven in all 3 runs tonight for the Americans. That just missed inside for Cobb, and it's 1-2. Cobb, the third pitcher of the day for the Blue Sox after Donato and Deschanel. Swing and a miss, strike 3.
Now batting the right fielder, Matt Elwell.
Elwell to the plate for the third time, 1 for 2 with a double. His double back in the fourth is the only time in this game that the Americans have gotten the leadoff man aboard. The Blue Sox gotten the leadoff man on. So that's outside. In the first, the second, and the fifth. Have nothing to show for it. May sound like I'm putting maybe too much stock into that category, but the sooner you put the pitcher into the stretch, I mean, if he doesn't do work from the stretch already, more pressure you put on him early on, the sooner you can win a war of attrition in this sport. And yet, the Blue Sox have not been able to put away the Americans when they had the chance. You have to remember that, I mentioned that Duggan has driven in all 3 runs tonight for the Americans, and he did so both times with the, did so with the bases loaded and 1 out. He hit a slow enough ground ball that prevented the Blue Sox from turning what would have been an inning-ending double play. And then his 2-out single with a full count and the bases loaded brought home the 2 runs. That equaled the difference right now for the Americans. And patience, once again, a virtue for the Americans. Team that averages 10 walks per game. Over that on offense. Ramirez out of nowhere and then does a barrel roll. And I don't know if he was going to get Elwell anyways. Elwell reaches.
Now batting the first baseman, Daniel Ferris.
Daniel Ferris will get his first plate appearance of the ball game, coming in defensively for Kajosian. This is his 4th game of the year. He is 0 for 5 on the season. 1 walk, 2 strikeouts. Swings, hits this one to center, caught. And he's dispatched rather easily for out number 2.
Now batting the second baseman, Luke Yorba.
Elwell picking up his second hit of the ball game, and now Yorba looking for his first. Struck out swinging in the second and flew out to left in the fourth. Down and in for a ball. That third inning, and especially to see it be capped off with a 2-run single on a full count with 2 outs, the bases loaded, was pretty demoralizing, I'd say, for the Blue Sox. Because you look at that, and that inning began with a ground out by Harrington. Fernandez walked, but then was caught stealing. And then Barry singles, Jennings singles, Klein walks, Duggan singles. That all happens with 2 outs. That's the difference in this ball game. Cobb hoping to send this one to the top of the 7th. The game's still in reach. 1-2. Downstairs, 2-2. Harrington due up next. Do you consider it a win if you're the Blue Sox pitching staff? If you've held the Americans offense to only 6 walks so far, although in danger of making it 7 here. It's now a full count. So LL will start his engines on this payoff pitch here in the bottom of the 6th in a 3-1 ball game. Cobb comes set. Payoff, here it comes. Grounder to short, fielded there. On to first, in time. That retires the side. Closing time for the Americans. Can the Blue Sox pull even and prolong this game, or will the Americans pick up the win? Stay tuned for the thrilling conclusion. LSP and Shipping Shield are partners in card. Shipping Shields are the eco-friendly sports and gaming card shipping protectors trusted by yours truly, made in the U.S. and Canada on 100% recyclable cardboard. Use the checkout codes and the link on the screen or in the description for a discount on your order. We may receive a commission from those orders, but we thank you for your continued support of whatever this is.
Batting number 9, Jake McElroy.
McElroy and Lisco and Normandy are the spots due up after, but it looks like we've got another batter in the on-deck circle that's not Lisco, so we'll see how this inning plays out. First, McElroy trying to race his 0 for 2, and Parisi misses outside for a ball. 1-0, trying to finish this one off and pick up the save. McMahon with the first 4 for the Americans. 1-1. One and two. Well, it's Tyler Normandy's spot in the line, but we know that Ramirez is the one playing third base now. Normandy started this game at third. Outside for a ball, 3-2. Grounder right back to Parisi on the mound. On to first. 1 up, 1 down here in the top of the 7th. Dom Gabardi is going to grab a bat.
Now batting, Dom Gabardi.
And pinch hit in Lisco's spot and takes up and away for a ball. Last year for the Blue Sox in the regular season, Gabardi went 8 for 19 in 10 games with 2 doubles, a triple, a homer, 5 ribbies and 5 walks, as well as 2 steals in 3 attempts. In the postseason, a little bit of a drop-off, 3 for 13 with 3 runs and a home run. Two and 1 is the count to Gabardi. That off-speed pitch froze him on the outside edge. Strike 2. Maltasea, that's right. He's the new catcher, and Ramirez pinch it in Dushny's spot. It'll be Maltasea, the last chance for the Blue Sox. Catcher took over after the pinch hit by Ramirez of Dushny.
Now batting, Luke Baltasea.
See if he can come through here, or if the Blue Sox, down their final out, we'll see this pattern of loss, win, loss, win, loss continue. Nearly came and got him on the back foot. It is ball 1. Deschanel's on the hook for the loss. Man, in line for the win. Parisi the save if this holds. Fly ball into right. Backpedaling a bit more, and then making the catch is Matt Elwell for the out that retires the side and ends this ball game.
Final score tonight, Melrose Americans beat the Lexington Blue Sox 3-1. Everybody, thank you for coming out. Please drive home safely.
3-1 is your final. The Americans improved to 4-1. The Blue Sox fall to 2-3. You know, that thing I had said about the pep talk Rick DeAngelis gave his guys after the second loss of the season to Malden. Who's afraid of the big bad Blue Sox? Nobody. But, you know, again, parity abound right now in the Intercity League, and you'll love to see it. And that's going to make the this entire season that much more exciting. But ends up being Brandon McMahon getting the win in 4 innings, and Parisi with the save, and it's Owen Duggan who drives in all 3 runs for the Americans with the ground out in the first, and then the 2-out, 2-run single in the third with the bases loaded and a full count at that, coming through big and delivering the Americans their 4th win of the season, 4-1 on the year. And the Blue Sox don't have any time to really lick their wounds. They'll be back at it tomorrow night, 7:45 first pitch, as they take on the Lexington Bulldogs for the second time this season and hope to avenge the season opening loss against their roommates. Having said that, this has been a presentation of LSP, something for everyone for over a decade. Copyright 2025, unauthorized redistribution of any portion of this broadcast without the express written permission of LSP or the Lexington Blue Sox is strictly prohibited. LSP and Shipping Shield are partners in cards. Shipping Shields are the eco-friendly sports and gaming card shipping protectors trusted by yours truly. Use the checkout codes in the link on the screen or in the description for a discount on your order. We may receive a commission from those orders, but we thank you for your continued support of whatever this is, which you can also do by sponsoring future LSP content, hiring us to work your next live event, or buying any of this fabulous merchandise you see on your screen. And, of course, don't want to throw us any money, you can still follow and support us on the web, Linktree, Facebook, YouTube. Don't forget to subscribe, PayPal, Creator Spring, LSP37, and Thumbtack and TCG Player if you're into that sort of thing. Once again, the final score from Morelli Field at Melrose High School in Melrose, Mass. It is the Melrose Americans 3 and the Lexington Blue Sox 1. For all my rowdy friends here at Melrose, hi, my name is Sam Feeler, reminding you forever and always, freelance isn't free. Thanks for tuning in. Fresh for 2025. Suckers.